The dual pickaxes in Fortnite were first introduced in Chapter 1, Season 9 with the Ripe Rippers, and ever since then we have had a ton of different dual pickaxes in-game. Now the dual pickaxes used to be something that a lot of players liked, but as time went on, they became very oversaturated. We have had a ton, and I mean a ton of different types of dual pickaxes, and even other types of pickaxes with different types of animations. But the dual pickaxes were the first of its kind to try something different. Instead of typically holding a pickaxe with both of your hands, you can now hold two, and this was kind of revolutionary at the time. The thing is though, nowadays, not a lot of players really use dual pickaxes. Because there are so many now in game, you would think that the majority of the Fortnite community would be always using these, but it seems like that's not the case. How's it going everyone, it's TrulyMystic, and in today's video I kinda just want to talk about the state of dual wielding pickaxes. I know this is very niche and random to talk about, but it has been on my mind lately, and you guys seem to like the niche commentaries every once in a while, so here we go. Let's talk about the rise and fall of the dual wield pickaxes and the oversaturation that it's had in the game. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So after the Ripe Rippers were introduced in Season 9, Fortnite kept coming out with more and more of these. And again, at the time, we thought these were pretty cool. However, the thing is, dual-wield pickaxes have a different type of animation. Obviously, they wouldn't function the same as if you're holding one pickaxe with both of your hands. You know, the typical OG, classic, iconic pickaxe. And so what players realize is that because of this animation change, it does feel a little clunky to use. Now, realistically, there's nothing happening here. The dual-wield pickaxes have the same pullout time and speed that the other pickaxes have in the game. And while there is a couple pickaxes that have slow input delay, or just all around are slower than other ones, most of the dual-wield pickaxes in the game are pretty much the exact same as literally any other pickaxe. But because of this animation change, as players were getting better and better at the game, and pros were competing in tournaments, the competitive scene was rising, a lot of these types of players decided to use the classic pickaxes like Icebreaker or Star Wand. You know, your typical sweaty pickaxes that you may see in some pros locker bundles. Now of course, there's nothing wrong with using these kind of pickaxes. They are pretty clean, match with your skin, and the animation just feels smooth overall. Like as soon as you pull it out, it's there, you use it, you know how it works. But with the dual wield pickaxes, that's just simply not the case. Regardless if there is an input delay or not with them, to a lot of players, they still just feel a little slower. It's hard to explain, but it's just how the pros' brains work. And because of this, the normal two-hand pickaxes were popularized again for a really long time. Pretty much everybody wanted these same pickaxes in the item shop. Cold Snap, Icebreaker, Star Wand, the Icicle, Candy Axe. All classic, sweaty pickaxes that do look nice, can match with your skin, and feel very familiar to use. Eventually, we got other pickaxe animations, like one-handing a pickaxe, which eventually introduced the Leviathan axe, and you may know the story there. Everyone goes crazy for that pickaxe. Even nowadays, it still hasn't returned, which is crazy. And so it was settled. If you are going to be running a pickaxe in the game and are even competing in tournaments, cash cups, or playing ranked in general, it was clear that you had to have the least amount of input delay possible and the cleanest combos imaginable. And because of this, dual-wield pickaxes were slowly phased out. But that didn't stop Epic from making them, as throughout the years we've had a ton, but why? This is a question that I really can't even answer myself. Why does Fortnite continue to make so many dual-wield pickaxes? I mean, a lot of these end up clogging the battle pass and ends up sitting in a bunch of our lockers collecting dust. I rarely see anybody in-game use any dual-wield pickaxes, let alone the battle pass ones. Now occasionally they do come out with decent ones in the shop, like just recently, ironically, the Skibbity Toilet collab did have a pair of plungers that you can use, which is somewhat unique, and even with that TMNT collab, you had all those cosmetics that came with pretty cool pickaxes. Usually the dual-wield pickaxes bundled with collaborations are the one most sought after and used. But anything that Epic originally comes up with is barely even a thought in most of the players' heads. And so to this day, we still get a bunch of dual-wield pickaxes that we just don't end up using. Now, what's pretty cool about some dual-wield pickaxes in the game is that there are selectable styles to change into a two-handed pickaxe. This really started happening in Chapter 2, Season 3, but ever since then, we have rarely had this as an option. I think it would be really cool for Epic to bring this back, as a lot of players do prefer the two-handed pickaxe, or even any other animation with the pickaxe for that matter. Dual wield really isn't that popular anymore, and I think we kinda need a break from it. But of course, Epic can always prove me wrong and can come up with the most amazing dual-wield pickaxes ever seen. Either way, I'd really love to see how they handle this type of pickaxe moving forward. And if you're someone who still runs dual-wield pickaxes in the game to this day, I salute you. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Just a quick one. Wanted to kind of yap about these types of pickaxes, and do any of you guys still use them? Let me know. There's a lot of basic ones out there, but there's also a couple gems that match really well with certain skins, so let me know down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and please use code TrulyMystic in the item shop if you want to support me there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. It's TrulyMystic, and until then, peace.